We're starting off the 2024 college football season in Ireland. Come on, let's go. Alright everyone, today we're going to be doing European Route 1 in the country of Ireland. The reason I'm doing this is because Florida State will be playing their first game against Georgia Tech here in Dublin, Ireland. And plus I love the team Florida State, so this fall I'm going to be doing some of their opponents as highways. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started with European Route 1. But first, you're watching the Dirt Pod, where I make highways content on all sorts of different topics. If you've been enjoying it, be sure to hit that like button. And if you've been really enjoying it, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you're notified on all future videos. And if you really want to help out the channel, become a member today, where you get custom cool emojis, early access to future videos, along with one free extra request per month. And if you don't want to become a member, you can always just pay $3 for a intersection request in future videos. Those highways will be listed down in the description below, and I'll make sure to shout you out when that video releases. So let's get on with the highway. As you can see here, this is the map of European Highway 1 as it starts all the way down here at Rosslare Harbour and ends all the way up here at the Northern Ireland border just north of Dunlac. It also consists of 6 different highways, as you can see here. So with that, we're talking about northbound European Highway 1. So we begin here at Rosslare Harbour, where we have this port exit sign and the beginning of N Highway 25. And our first roundabout, N Highway 25, is now signed north for Wexford at 18 kilometers away. But then further up the road, we get our first direction sign for N Highway 25, and Cork is actually our primary control from 199 kilometers away. For us Americans, that is roughly 124 miles away, while Wexford is only a mere 11 kilometers away. Here is the road that takes you into downtown Wexford. And now we're meeting N Highway 11, where European Highway 1 is going to be hopping onto, and we're now signed north for Dublin. And our first direction sign here on N Highway 11, we get Dublin as our control from 138 kilometers away, or roughly 85 miles. And this roundabout here is where N Highway 11 turns into Motorist Highway 11. And Motor Highway 11 is actually a freeway all the way up to Dublin. In our first direction sign here on Motorist Highway 11, we get Dublin still as our primary control from 125 kilometers away. And here's our first exit off of Motorist Highway 11. It is signed for N Highway 30. Let us see what Motorist Highway 11 is signed for here on N Highway 30. Yay, we get signed for Dublin, which is the correct choice because Dublin is the capital of Ireland and Ireland's biggest city. And it looks like here that we're getting a speed limit of 120 kilometers per hour. That's a 75 mile an hour speed limit. That's pretty fast. And our next directional sign, we get Dublin still as our primary control from 95 kilometers away. And here's another exit here for Motorist Highway 11. And as we're heading on Motorist Highway 11, we actually pass through the Irish countryside here, which is pretty cool. And then our next directional sign, we still get Dublin as our primary control from 67 kilometers away. Man, Ireland's pretty consistent with their primary control cities. This is pretty awesome. North Carolina and Pennsylvania need to learn from Ireland. And now we're entering into the Dublin area, and we're now going to be hopping onto Motor Highway 50, which is kind of the beltway around Dublin, while Motor Highway 11 will take you into the city center of Dublin. Here's our first exit off of Motor Highway 50 here for Road 118. And then here is our next exit for exit 15. And Motor Highway 50 is now signed for Dublin Airport and the Dublin Port. here are meeting N Highway 7, which is kind of a freeway going west of Dublin, while Motor Highway 50 is still signed for the Dublin Airport and Dublin Port, respectively. Here is N Highway 4, which again is one of the freeways heading west of the city, while Motor Highway 50 is still signed for the same two cities. Now we're going to be hopping onto Motor Highway 1, which takes us up to the Dublin Airport, and also takes us to Belfast, while Motor Highway 50 will take you into the city center along with Dublin Port. Here is a pull through for Motor Highway 1, and we're still signed north for Belfast. And here's a cool exit for the town of Swords. That's a pretty cool town name. And our first direction sign here on Motor Highway 1, we actually get Belfast as our primary control at 155 kilometers away. That's pretty far. And I found out that Belfast is actually in Northern Ireland, so Ireland is actually signing something that is out of country. Wow, that is pretty awesome. And now we're entering into one of the counties here in the country of Ireland. And here's the exit for Derry, which is one of the controls on the directional signs. Here at our next direction sign, we still get Belfast as our primary from 102 kilometers away, while we're getting Dunlac as our secondary from 18 kilometers away. Here is the exit for Dunlac, as M Highway 1 is now going to be forming a bypass around Dunlac. And then shortly later up the road, we're now entering into Northern Ireland, where it will be known as United Kingdom territory and not as the Irish territory. So with that, we're going to be turning around and doing southbound European Highway 1. So we begin here right at the Ireland and Northern Ireland border, where we're getting a speed limit in kilometers per hour sign here. And again, it's 75 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Here's our first exit here off of N Highway 1, which takes you straight into Dunlac. And here is the exit for N Highway 52 once again. And then we turned right back into Motorist Highway 1, where we get kind of this like plaza direction sign here. The Lusk Plaza being 65 kilometers away, while the Castle Bellingham one is only 15. But here's our first direction sign for M Highway 1, and we get Dublin as our primary from 87 kilometers away. And here, once again, in the Dublin area, we get the exit for Swords. And here is where the exit for the Dublin airport, while Motor Highway 1 is still getting a pull-through for the city of Dublin itself. And here's where we meet Motor Highway 50, but we're going to be taking the exit here to get into the city center of Dublin. In fact, here's the road to get to the city center, because we're going to be following this road to get to the stadium where Florida State will be playing. And here we are within the city center of Dublin, and we're going to be taking a right here onto Road 137. And then we follow Road 137 down to Road 111, where we're going to be turning onto it. And then we follow Road 111 all the way down to Trittonville Road, where we're going to be taking a left onto here. And then we're going to be taking Trittonville Road all the way down to Herbert Road, which where the stadium is. And here is a picture of the stadium where Florida State will be playing Georgia Tech. Go Noles. But we now hop back onto Motor Highway 50. We're meeting N Highway 2 here. And we're now signed south for Wexford, which is a good choice. And then as we bypass the city of Dublin, we're now hopping back onto Motor Highway 11 here, which will take us to Wexford. In fact, here on our first pull through for Motor Highway 11, we get Wexford as our control city, along with Rosslare. Wow. Here on our first direction sign off of Motor Highway 11 southbound, we get Wexford from 122 kilometers away, and Rosslare from 137. That is actually off of N25 and not Motor Highway 11. Here at random exits, Motor Highway 11 is signed south for Wexford, which is a great choice. And then here is the ending of Motor Highway 11, and we'll be turning right back into it, N Highway 11, signed south for both Wexford and Rosslare. Here's where N Highway 11 meets N Highway 25 as it's signed south for Rosslare. And we only get a one-liner here for Rosslare from 21 kilometers away. And we follow N25 all the way down here to Rosslare Harbor, where we end the Irish portion of European Highway 1 and N25. And moving on to, the places I'll go. So these are all the places I'd visit if I ever was in Ireland on European Highway 1. So first I'd visit Dublin, and I also like to visit the town of Swords, because it just sounds cool. And I also like to visit Aviva Stadium, or like if another football team is playing there. And I also like to visit the town of Wicklow and its attractions, along with the Irish coast, and the Dublin Zoo, and all the European Highway 1 plazas, and then finally visit the other Irish coastal cities. And that ends European Highway 1. Thank you all so much for watching this episode on European Highway 1. I hope I persuaded you guys to go visit the country of Ireland, because I'd certainly love to one day and go see European Highway 1 myself and the city of Dublin. So with that, here are my next few highways. The most notable one is going to be US Highway 322, where I'm going to be doing a collab with Quartermarch 437. And another one is going to be a combination of US 72 and US 76 for the University of Clemson. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next week.